Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International, and you are tuned into the Paranormally Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen. It does happen.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal. You have found the Paranormally Zone, your place for all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberg. I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, a man who goes by none other than the name of Michael Carbno. He has no nickname tonight. No silly
No, we don't want to go
descriptive
there.
adjective for my buddy, my co-host with the ghosts,
I
Mr.
can't
Mike.
handle it.
No, he can't handle it tonight. This is take 2, but that doesn't mean anything to anybody listening to this right now.
Yeah.
We already recorded about 15 minutes, and then we realized, hey, wait, we don't like that, and it's not working, so we're starting over, and this is
Yeah.
a special episode indeed. So
It was my fault.
yeah, it wasn't your fault. It was both of our faults, I guess.
I
fault of
started
us.
it.
Okay, I'll accept that. You started it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You started it. But we decided to start all over. We start anew, start fresh, and hopefully it will be that much better. But you won't know because there's nothing out there to compare it to. So
That's right.
it's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining me tonight. Let's make it a good
course.
one. This is a special episode. If you're new to the program, this is a slight we're straying slightly off course from our normal structure here. We are not focusing on any particular topic, and we are not doing a last call. We're instead just the title. I guess the easiest way to put it, the title of this episode is going to be Ghosts, Our Reality. If you couldn't figure it out by now, we are passionate about all things paranormal and for good reasons. And we're going to use this as an opportunity to basically describe what we're all about when it comes to this podcast. And all things ghosts and ghouls and the paranormal, and it's going to be a good one. So
Yeah. Well, how about the little bit of the comedy thrown in?
oh, that's right. Yeah. Mike's been just chomping at the bit.
Oh, no.
To
No, no.
kind of revert back to some old alternate route podcast type days, even some, dare I say, non-Sensicast radio days. If you've been with us since the non-Sensicast radio days, contact me. I want to know who the hell you are.
Yeah, no kidding.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome to hear from you. But
Well, we have since the non-Sensecast. Is that what you said?
yes, sir. That's
Okay,
what
yeah.
I said.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know.
We do know there are people that have been with us for quite some time.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah, like some
100%.
people that have actually been with us since we've been with on the Talk Is Jericho show, and that goes back a ways.
It does. It goes. Yeah. That goes back 2018. So
Yeah,
coming up on, well, if my math is correct, coming up on 4 years this September. So, man, time flies. Holy Toledo. But
yeah, that's something.
it is, and it's
I don't
kind
know.
of
It's
kinda sad.
We got to see if we can get a hold of him again, Patrick.
Mike, you're really trying to lead me down this road, aren't you?
Oh no. No, you have your own mind.
I have my own mind, and okay, Mike, you threw the bait out, and I'll take it. All right,
I'm reeling it in.
you're reeling it in. Yep.
Let you run a little bit.
There went my upper
Give you some
lip.
line.
Right. Let it run with a little
Breaking
bit.
water there. You break water as good as I break wind there,
Oh, very,
Patrick.
very good there, Michael. Yeah. Well, let's just say the cat is sort of out of the bag for our Patreon.
But it's not my fault
subscribers.
because it didn't have to go any further than that. People had no idea.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm drinking beer tonight that I haven't had for a while.
Yeah, I know. So we're gonna have to fly through this as fast as we can before Mike
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and I'm
falls off
wasting
his
time.
Mike falls off his chair before the episode is over with here. And
Oh
then-
no, I don't have that much beer.
And I'll have to have Mary, hold the microphone over his prone body when he's lying on the floor on his back.
Patting my head with a damp washcloth.
Yeah. Well, first she sticks a mirror under your nose to see if you're breathing, and then the microphone is like, all right, here we go. He's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just get it out of there. The cat's out of the bag for our Patreon subscribers, by the way. If you do enjoy the Paranormally Zone, I damn near guarantee you're going to love our Patreon content. We're just getting started. We have over 40 exclusive episodes recorded solely for our Patreon page. Number 41 is going to be recorded immediately after this episode, and over 200 posts are available on our Patreon page. And those posts include all sorts of cool video, audio footage, our own personal ghost hunting captures, EVPs, dare I say, any sort of paranormal goodness that you would imagine would be on our Patreon page. Well, guess what? It's there, and we're only getting started. So as little as $1 a month, you can try it out. We'd love to see you guys there. We're not just doing this for our own health, although maybe. I don't know. We're passionate about it. Just a wee bit. We're passionate about it. We're having fun. We're pretty damn sure you will enjoy our Patreon content. We would love to see you there. And you get perks and gifts, by the way. So that's kind of cool. Well, as our Patreon pals know, this Monday afternoon, I guess that would be May 1st. Mike.
Do the Patreon listeners know?
That's what I just said. Yes.
I did not know that.
I've said that twice now.
I know, but I did not know that.
Well, okay.
They already knew.
Okay, for the third time, I'm going to say yes, as our Patreon pals know, because I did post it. I wrote a brief little message.
Oh, I missed
on there.
that.
Yeah. So this Monday, May 1st, 2:00 in the afternoon, we're going to have the honor and the privilege. And
big privilege.
Oh my
big
gosh,
guy.
We're super excited. We're going to appear on Talk is Jericho for the second time. Mike, God damn it, let's make it good. It'll be fun.
Oh, it'll be awesome. Yeah.
We're looking forward to it for sure. So no word on when the episode will be published, but
yeah, that's all on his end.
Yeah,
obviously.
Absolutely, man. So wish us luck. Send us your good positive vibes out there, everybody. We're excited. And hopefully we don't make complete asses of ourselves. So it'll be good. Right, Mike?
Awesome. It'll be awesome.
It will be awesome. So,
spending an hour with the big guy.
Yeah, spending an hour with the big guy. That's right. So, well, we got that out of the way. I was going back and forth whether or not we should actually mention that, kind of putting the cart before the horse type thing. But Mike started me off. I could tell he was hinting at it earlier there, so I can see what he wanted to see what you're getting at. But it's all good.
It is.
Mike, our reality when it comes to ghosts. What pops into your mind immediately when you hear that phrase? Ghosts, our reality, as in you and me.
Well, our reality would be what we have experienced with ghosts and what we have seen or heard or felt, smelt, whatever.
Have we ever? I don't think we've experienced any anomalous odors.
We haven't together, but I have.
Well, we both experienced the, but there wasn't really. There wasn't really. I didn't notice any odor when that happened. So, but I believe you were at the top of the steps, or we were in different parts of the basement. So maybe it wafted our way eventually. But
yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
it was there.
Anyways, yeah. The only flatulence that I have ever heard that sounds like an old jail cell locking or something like. I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, take a listen to this. It just sounds bizarre. But yeah, that
it sounds like timber falling.
Well, earlier on, you said it sounded like a bunch of empty oil cans falling down.
A wall of empty barrel cans falling over.
That's right.
Or half full, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. But man, but so
Horrifying.
yeah, all jokes aside, if you're new to the show, we've kind of organically grown into these roles. And it's not like we're doing this consciously, and it's not like this is fake, because it isn't. This is we are who we are, and I'm a believer. I am open-minded to essentially everything, but I'm also, I look at things from a skeptical point of view. I want to get that proverbial paranormal slap to the face, and be like, oh my God, where the hell did that come from? It must have been a ghost type thing. But it doesn't mean I don't believe in them.
Right.
Mike, I mean, it's safe to say, well, how would you describe yourself? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Well, I am a believer like you are, but I am a believer from the aspect of experiencing enough things that leave no shadow of doubt whatsoever.
Right.
I have had that proverbial slap in the face, just not an actual slap.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that I refer to him in every intro of the episode as my co-host with the ghosts and the paranormal poster boy. Mike's experienced the paranormal since you are a wee little child. And
Yes.
that's no joke.
Just a wee lad.
We've shared that story several times before. Mike's first encounter, seeing that full-bodied apparition of the young girl floating through your... Well, do you want to say that real quick again, Mike? Describe that story briefly again, because I forget exactly
briefly,
how old you were.
Briefly, I was a young... I never remember the exact age, although I remember everything else so vividly, but 12, 13, something like that. I'm not sure, but sitting on the couch New Year's Eve, watching New Year's Eve, a New Year's Eve show on TV, midnight special on the Queen Mary, and a ghost came from one end of the room to the other end of the room, but floated between the TV and I, and she looked like about the same age as me. She was fully detailed, all white, no color, roughly nightgown, like an old fashioned, down to the feet, and the braided ponytail, and the eyes were closed, and slight smile on her face. I'm trying to rush through that because I can make that story last.
Oh, I know. I know.
And she went into the other end of the room where there's a little hallway down there, and that was it.
I know, and you immediately
Home Alone, and then I went back to watching TV, and it didn't freak me out at all.
Didn't freak you out, and you told your parents about it, right? When they
came home, and I told them what happened. Then I was kind of getting excited because I was retelling the story, and I was kind of getting me going a bit. And my dad, he just said, "Well, did you try to talk to her?" He believed me right away. I mean, that's what I grew up with from as little as I can remember. Is being accepting the paranormal, because my dad was such a big part of what my dad believed in.
Do you think that you were getting excited when you're telling your parents because maybe it was sinking in what actually happened?
It was sinking in more. Yeah.
Because I'll be the first to admit, man, I'm just jealous. I'm straight up jealous of that, because I can't even imagine that experience. I want to experience that. So,
but and I've been through many others, and then now Patrick gets upset with me because I experienced something here, and it's like, oh, by the way,
yeah,
it's like very nonchalant.
I just saw another shadow figure passing through our kitchen.
Yeah,
no
kind
big
of this
deal.
Black misty thing.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Saw the ghost cat again.
oh shit! I thought you were saying that you just did recently.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
No. We haven't seen that for a little while now.
Yeah, that's the ghost cat that I swore I saw years ago when we were doing a video episode. Well, we weren't doing video, but I saw it on Skype. But then the next morning, I'm like, I didn't see that, did I? But
yeah, of course, that's how you do all of your experiences.
Well,
you experience it, and then you have enough time to where you just no, it couldn't have been. So then you let it go.
Yeah. Well, like that.
And that you need to see somebody about.
Okay. I need to lay down on the couch. I need to just open up my my relieve, not relieve. I need to open up and relieve
You need to
myself.
relieve yourself on the couch.
Good Lord. Oh man, this is a special episode already. So it's, to me, my reality of ghosts and the paranormal, unfortunately, it's a reality in my mind because I believe it to be so, but I really don't have any, just 100% in your face evidence to that I can fall back on, and say this has happened, and I therefore, I dare you to tell me any differently, that this is of the paranormal and nothing else, and so that's my reality, to use that term loosely. I've had experiences. There's no denying it. You and I have had experiences together,
Right.
It's, if you think you're frustrated with me, Mike, imagine how frustrated I am with myself.
Right.
Trust me, I
and
am.
it's got to be frustrating. I can understand that.
Yeah, it is.
Because you want that to happen so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, even if I get these signs, Mike, we've talked about this on the podcast 100 times, so many weird things that have happened, to me, personally, and I share them on the podcast and the Ultimate Route podcast. All those old episodes are available on the archives on Patreon right now, by the way. And it means something to me, so much so that I bring it up on the podcast and we deep dive into it and stuff. I think about it, I think about it. I was like, what the hell really happened? What is that,
Yeah. And before you're done even telling the story, your dehydrated little brain has shooted out your left ear.
It has. Yep.
So
It turns into a gelatinous goo that jiggles along the floor outside and escapes the house.
sorry about the dehydrated little brain thing.
That's okay.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Was that in a reference to my Coors Light that I'm drinking right now, Mike? Is that in reference to that? I'm dehydrating myself.
No. Because I'm drinking Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, I know. Boltra? What's Michelob Boltra?
Ultra. Yeah, it's a little bit more than Ultra.
Okay.
But it's actually Boltra.
Boltra. Okay, I gotcha. But man, even did I mention this? I haven't mentioned this already in this segment, did I? Or did I mention it in the part that we deleted? The audio, I'm doing air quotes, evidence that we captured at the Babbitt School, the supposedly haunted Babbitt School, with that desk moving on the above us. That audio was bizarre.
It's fantastic. Now,
and I called you immediately after that. That's how excited I was about it. And then afterwards, and again, like the next morning, I'm like, what? Was it something else? Was it this? Was it that?
So think of this. Now, if that same experience that you had there was on like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures, they hear this, they get it on recording. They go up to check. Nothing's there. Nobody's up there because there's nobody else in the building. They would not shoo it out and say, no, we got to throw that out.
They would, so you're saying that they wouldn't poo-poo it like I've been trying to do, apparently?
Yeah. Jason Haas would not listen to that and go, when in doubt, throw it out. It would be beyond that.
Yeah.
They would take that as a nice piece of evidence.
I think so. I agree with you.
But then why can't you? When all of these professionals that have dealt with all of these experiences would put that into their list in their book of paranormal evidence. But you, Patrick, no.
Mike, again,
I don't understand.
Again,
I don't understand it. You don't even understand it yourself.
I don't. I really don't. So and again, maybe that's limiting my ability to experience even more. You know what I mean? But because that's a possibility. We've talked about that as well. Is like, as much as powerful as we believe the human mind is, no, we're not saying that all paranormal experiences are just tricks of the mind. We're not saying that at all. But if you're open-minded to it, and let's say you meditate on it, and you're in that state of mind that free state of mind, why the hell would it not be more? Why would you not be more apt to experience something as opposed to someone who's like, nope, it's not
Exactly.
real. It's not there. I'm going to put
Yeah.
I'm going to put my head in a little locked box and go on my merry way.
Yeah.
So, I get it. I do. Please
There's
forgive me.
something that's blocking you, and that needs to be figured out.
Yeah, it's that huge guy in front of me at Walmart. He was blocking me all day today.
With a G-string on that's,
Oh,
that's
good Lord.
pulled up way past his Wrangler jeans, and is wearing like a cut-off T-shirt.
So you were there. You saw him too. Man.
Wearing a pair of pink cowboy boots
Okay, you're going too far.
and
Mike, when I
dreadlocks.
stop it.
Anyway,
When we were thinking of what the hell to talk about tonight, since we are pretty unfocused, but it's going to be fun. It has been fun already. I typed in the phrase "the reality of ghosts" on Google. Okay,
oh, good.
and I wanted to share just some of the articles, the headlines of the articles that pop up immediately when I type in "the reality of ghosts." Okay, I mean it's just
Okay.
it's just an innocent little
Sounds
search.
good.
Just an innocent little search and yada yada yada. But this there's a point to this. Might get under Mike's skin a little bit here, which is always fun. This article right here from livescience.com. I'm just reading the headlines and like the opening 2 sentences or so. It says, "Are ghosts real?" That's the article from livescience.com. This was published June 18th, 2021. The first line reads, "Ghost hunters like to believe that ghosts exist, but science and logic are the real Ghostbusters." There's example 1. How'd that make you feel, Mike?
Science and logic. You can't apply science and logic to the paranormal.
I guess I can feel Mike's blood pressure rising, and it does. And for me, the skeptic boy himself, this irritates the hell out of me
Of course.
because there's a difference between being skeptical and being a pseudo-skeptic. There just
huge
is.
difference.
Automatically dismissing something just because you choose not to believe it and you think it's silly, you're a pseudo-skeptic. You're not even bothering to give it. You don't even give it a scientific chance. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one's called "The Science of Ghosts," and it reads, 1 in 5 Americans say they've encountered a ghost. But science has no evidence that ghosts are real, and here are more likely explanations. So, I mean, it's a little not as harsh. Not as harsh.
I have no evidence that science is real.
There you go.
There you go.
I might have to click on that one because those first 2 lines kind of. Okay, this is from NBCnews.com. NBC Science News.
Okay.
And it says, see, this one I clicked on because this one actually sounds kind of interesting. Or it sounds like maybe they're going along the right path, like in support. I love how they write this. It says, "Do Einstein's laws prove ghosts exist?" That's the headline. Then it says, "Every night, amateur ghost hunting groups across the country head out into abandoned warehouses, old buildings, and cemeteries to look for ghosts. They often bring along electronic equipment that they alone believe helps them locate ghostly energy." How do you like that one?
I'm fixated on the voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was I bothering you more so than the article itself?
These are people that say this that have never gone on an excursion like that. If they could be out there and experience something or see some misty light, dancing between headstones and hearing something with their own ears or hearing something that's been recorded when they didn't hear it with their own ears, they would still not believe it, of course, but they need to experience these things, but they would never give themselves a chance because I bet you a lot of them are afraid that they
Are wrong.
might have to come around a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. It's I guess, I have a few more examples here. The point I'm trying to get across is like the snarky nature of of
Oh yeah, you and I are just complete dorky idiots.
Right. Well, just how they wrote that, every night amateur ghost hunting groups go to abandoned warehouses and old buildings and cemeteries. Okay,
they
first
don't
off,
mention the houses that people actually live in.
Right. Exactly.
Or hospitals or that are busy and running on a everyday basis.
But Mike, you and I have said that several times on here. Yes, we've gone to cemeteries and we've done EVP sessions, we've done spirit box sessions and stuff. But we have said this 1,000 times on the podcast. Just because you're in a cemetery doesn't mean anything's going on there.
Exactly.
It doesn't. It this idea that all of us wacko ghosty people who are into the paranormal go hang out at night in cemeteries trying to speak with the dead, that irritates me. That's not what it's about. But I'm getting off track a little bit here. Okay, this one says, why do we see ghosts? That's the headline. This is from popscience.com. Why do we see ghosts? It says current science cannot prove their existence, but 7 mental and environmental factors might. So I'm not going to go into these articles.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically suggesting that your environment and your mental, I don't know, something to do with your wacky brain is causing all of these ghosty sightings here, Mike. I like this one here. This is from express.co.uk. Again, the title is Are Ghosts Real?
Mm-hmm.
Scientists claim to have discovered the truth. That's the entire headline.
Scientists claim
to have discovered the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But then the first sentence says, ghosts are a trick of the mind when the brain is still half asleep, according to leading experts.
Still half asleep?
Still half asleep. Ghosts are a trick of the mind when the brain is half asleep, according to leading experts.
So when we're walking through places that are reportedly haunted and it's dark and it's scary and we are alert and on point like you wouldn't believe and not half asleep and experience these things, what does that mean?
Well, also, I guess, so Mike, I guess the audio that we captured 15 years ago of, the audio anomaly, the EVP that we captured at your house, your very haunted house, that's clearly stated in answer to one of our questions, it's Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
All of us there our brains are all half asleep. And we somehow, those half asleep brains conjured up this audio anomaly itself, which enabled it to be picked up on the digital recorder.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That can happen.
All right. So half asleep brains are able to conjure up some crazy, crazy stuff physically. All right. I gotcha.
Crazy.
You want me to go through a couple more? Are you getting angry?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, it is a special episode, so there's a lot of stuff here, Mike, and this is really exciting for our listeners. I know it is. I had a bunch of them here. I did. Now I lost my page if you can't quite tell here, boys and girls. Oh, I like how this one's written. This is according to anthropologynews.org. It says, ghosts can be experienced, measured, and proven according to ghost hunters.
Yeah. We're a special breed.
We all just deserve to be sat in the corner and patted on top of our heads, right? And just, well, anyways, you're getting, I won't bore you anymore because my page was getting all wacky there. I was losing track. But you get my point there. It's just, do you think that the coverage overall, Mike, of the paranormal has been improving? I mean, when I read headlines like that, it would make you think that it isn't, as far as like
Well-
being more open-minded and accepting to it. But I definitely, there's been a huge upswing in overall acceptance of it.
Acceptance and coverage, yeah. As far as we're still being not so well accepted by the mainstream media. We're still kind of scoffed at, and that they'll report a story here and there, but they always do it with a listen to this one kind of attitude.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
But I think we're bringing more people, not we are, but I think there are more people that are coming around to it.
Yeah.
Without the however it's reported or mainstream or whatever, there's people that are still coming around, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. And the same can be said for the gradually improving, I'm doing improving in air quotes, media coverage of like UFO sightings and, is stuff along that line. You see it in the news a hell of a lot more often than you used to.
Well, especially, the ufology, that's coming around pretty good, but that could be due to the slow generation of disclosure as well.
Yeah, the slow reveal almost, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, though, a lot of the reporters, they can't help themselves, and they have
there'll always be that
snarky, like, these idiots and all that stuff. And I will say that one of my pet peeves is I'm talking about they as in the media, they jump all over these stories of dead sea monsters that wash ashore.
Yeah.
Mysterious giant carcass of a sea monster washes ashore on such and such locale. And it's always a whale. It's always a rotted, dead carcass of a whale. But the media spins it as if us idiots out there are going to run with it and say, see, there's proof. There's sea monsters because a dead one floated ashore. They jump all over it just to give it a bad name, just so they can say, oh, it was proven to be a whale? Told ya it wasn't a monster. It's like none of us believe it was a monster in the first place. So, a pet peeve indeed.
Yeah.
Mike's looking at me like, what do you...
Another one for the list. No, I know.
The biggest one of all, though, Mike, we're kind of getting off topic here, and I apologize, but the biggest one of all is like, you see any sort of Bigfoot reports on the news? Oh my God. Talk about just making an absolute farce of it and making fun of it. And
then they make sure that they show the footage of somebody in a junk car strewn front yard with one tooth in front of his mouth and wearing dirty, ripped coveralls with no shirt underneath it.
Yeah, his tooth is literally in front of his mouth.
Yeah, and it's not white, believe me.
No. God bless him. I can't pull his name right now, but the one gentleman comes to mind. He was 10 foot tall. Yeah, beautiful.
There's some
hair.
kind of man in my yard. I just saw.
Oh yeah. And then of course he couldn't get over how beautiful his hair was and stuff like that. So the media loves replaying that stuff, but. Okay, back to topic here, Mike. Ghosts and reality. Our reality. I guess what I want to say, kind of circling back to me and my personal experiences without boring you to death. I'm a believer, Mike. And you know that when I experience these things, my initial reaction is always that of, holy crap. I'm really kind of blown away by it. In several ways. I mean, I'm talking about any number of occasions, any number of experiences. Years ago when I'm sitting out in the living room in a recliner by myself, everyone's in bed, everyone's asleep, and I sit there and out of nowhere I sit up and I look behind the recliner because someone was behind me. I knew someone was behind me. I knew someone was going to say something to me. You just had that feeling, and no one was there. Of course no one was there. Like I said, the kids were downstairs asleep. Bridget was in bed. I mean, what is that? That could be absolutely nothing, but maybe it's something. I mean, we all experience all these little moments, but maybe they're more than little.
And what conclusion did you leave yourself with that?
I have never really came up with a conclusion to that one because I can't emphasize how clear and how strongly of a reaction that I had.
Those are feelings that you need to go with. That's not, that's like I've said before, that's not just an undigested piece of beef.
It isn't. It's not. You know, and just we all have these moments where for whatever reason you happen to be, for me, driving in my car and I start thinking about a certain friend of mine who, passed away years ago, and for whatever reason he pops in my brain, and then like a song popped on the radio that he and I had some connection about, and Mike, is that just? I was just going to say, tell me that is a coincidence. Convince me that is coincidence.
No, it can be, but when you have the feeling that goes along with it, and if it strikes that up in your mind that there's a connection to it, you have to go with that. You yourself personally have to realize how sensitive you are, and I'm not talking about you cry if somebody talks about your height or your hair.
Oh, what's wrong with my height?
I'm talking about
what's wrong with my hair.
Nothing. You think that there's so much wrong, but there's not. But anyway, you have to realize how sensitive you are to these things. And sometimes, and I do this sometimes, where if I see something and I can do a quick, think about it to where, it's like, okay, could it be this, this, or this, or this? And I make sure that I go through everything enough so I can say, yep, that was something that wasn't normal. I'm going to call it paranormal. And I did see something.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to accept by the way you feel, what you see, and know that it was something that actually happened and not just some trick of your mind.
I know.
You just have to have the faith that that it was real and that it happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mike, I'm trying. I'm trying. I am.
Yeah.
I wanted to share a tweet that one Greg Newkirk sent out a few days ago. I'm sure our listeners are familiar with the Newkirks, Greg and Dana. We saw them at Para-Unity this last summer, Mike. We didn't get a chance to go up and speak to them, but they have some really unique and fascinating takes on the paranormal. And I'll be straight up and up front. I don't know if I agree with a lot of them, but I appreciate them. Lord knows they're far more educated than I am when it comes to all this stuff. But he, in response to a question that a gentleman sent Greg, and the question was, have you ever been scratched during a paranormal investigation? And he goes on, shares some experience. And then Greg wrote back and he said, scratched once, bitten once. But then he says, people like to lay the blame on some kind of evil ghost, demon, whatever. But in my case, both were prompted by people in the room, quote unquote, willing it to happen. My opinion, we often cause it, and it might just be a side effect of interaction. How do you take that? It's a really interesting take on it, but he's kind of suggesting that a lot of paranormal activity is truly conjured up by us, by ourselves. What do you think about that? Not all of it, but he's
no, yeah.
But
I'm not
he
sure how I
says
feel about that.
Right here, he says, in my case, both were prompted by people in the room willing it to happen.
No, I don't believe that.
But he's,
in my opinion, I don't believe that.
I want to talk to Greg and Dana on the podcast.
We can certainly do that. But
years ago, they were scheduled to be on the Alternate Up podcast, and things fell through and never happened. So I'd love to talk to him again, or not again, eventually. And I respect them so much. I respect their opinions and their thoughts and their beliefs. But I'm kind of with you on that, Mike. I mean, people in the room somehow creating these scratches.
Well, is that something along the line of a teenage girl going through puberty, conjuring up poltergeist activity?
Right. Great example.
But where does this energy come from? It's just the thoughts of people, or the anxiety or the fear or the excitement that they're feeling being in this situation and waiting for something to happen and putting so much energy to it from that it actually happens.
Man.
Hmm.
Just the idea.
I mean, it's an interesting theory, but to me, it's a theory that
you don't buy.
Like everything is a theory anyway, with the paranormal mostly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't necessarily go in that direction.
Mike, let's take a very brief time traveling excursion. Let's come back and let's wrap it up with a bang. If we can. Does that sound okay?
Absolutely.
All right, hold on, boys and girls. Do not go anywhere. We shall return on this very special episode of the Paranomaly Zone. And we have returned after yet another successful time traveling excursion. Okay, Mike, time is unfortunately running short. I want to fit in as much as we can here. But one thing that popped into my brain is the preponderance of paranormal footage out there nowadays. And to you, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? That might seem like a silly question.
No, it's not. I think it's an awesome thing, actually.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. But I have to add on there the capabilities that everyone carries around in their pockets nowadays.
Exactly.
This little magical device called a phone, a cell phone. Does that... Let's talk about that for a little bit. And how everyone and their grandmother has some sort of social media account out there. And if they're interested in paranormal, they're sharing what appears to be unbelievably cool paranormal footage.
Yeah. We have shows about it.
Do you buy into this, Mike? How do you feel? That's too broad of a question. How do you feel when it comes to these the overabundance of alleged paranormal footage out there that everyone seems to have? Is it legit to you? Is it a phenomenon? Is it a thing to create a fake piece of footage and post it out there on social media as if it were real? I mean, how are we supposed to know? And that to me it's fascinating, but it's also frustrating because it really dilutes the clarity of what is legit unexplained footage and what is purely created by an app. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's always going to be people out there that work hard at faking these things and putting them out. Always. And for whatever reason they have for doing that, whether it's notoriety or
clicks and likes and
all
retweets.
Of that stuff. Yeah, for the simplest things even. There's always going to be that. But even if, say with UFO sightings, even if just 1% is real and unexplained and is more possibly real than anything, that still leaves a pretty good number. But we can't delineate between any one of them.
There's that awesome word.
Yep, have to use it when I can. You just can't. You can't decide what's what and what's real and what's not. You have to take it each one individually, like the honesty of the people, or if there's an actual team that's out looking for evidence, and that they're legit and they're not likely to put out fake things. You just have to use your gut and start thinking about, just piece the whole thing together to see if, okay, now that looks more legit. I'm going to give that more credence than something else or another one that I've seen. But still, even with that, you cannot ever decide if something is real or not, unless you are the one that is experiencing it and you're the only one that's going to know that it's real.
100% agree, man.
Unfortunately,
even if it is a true recording, even if it is a legit recording, like you said, it's never ever going to be accepted as 100% true.
Yeah.
If you aren't if you weren't in the video itself or the person recording,
and the saturation is there. I mean, the shows on the Travel Channel and shows that I've seen that I can watch on like the Discovery Plus or whatever. There are more than what you can imagine of paranormal things caught on camera.
Well, Mike, the show itself right there.
Type shows.
Paranormal caught on camera.
That we do watch. Yeah. There's so many of them, and it's so popular that there's so many people that are out there doing it, or they see it and they're, I'm going to do that.
Yep.
So, they go out there and a lot of them probably have really good intentions and they are legit, but like I said, you'll never know.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And there's well, like the girls from Haunted Maine, the awesome gals that we chatted with, a year and a half ago now. They started their own team and they started their own YouTube channel, and that's just exploded. It's not like they were signed on a major network type deal at all, and they've captured some awesome evidence.
Yeah, and are they making money? Probably not. I mean, they're just really into this evidence.
Yeah,
finding.
I guess I brought that up because there are so many just YouTube, for example, so many YouTube ghost hunting investigative groups out there. People who have their own paranormal channels on YouTube, and they have what appears to be some fascinating, utterly just terrific paranormal footage caught on film. And you just have to go, is it too good to be true? Is this real?
Yeah.
You have to wonder if like Zach Bagans and Jason Hawes and the guys are going like, what the hell? I mean, we've been doing this for 25 years and we've never captured something that good. You know?
Right.
Well, they've captured fascinating stuff, but I think you know what I'm saying there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's good and it's bad, man. There's positives and there's negatives. So
just go with your gut and do some research on some of these things.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I definitely there's a particular channel that I do enjoy watching their clips. Nuke's Top 5. He always posts some awesome paranormal footage, these clips on there. Nuke's Top 5. Go, another cheap plug for him. He doesn't need it. He's got like 5 billion followers or something. but
yeah, so do we.
Yeah.
That's all right. We got quality instead of quantity.
Well, I'm not saying this isn't quality. I'm not saying the stuff that he shares isn't quality because, and he
no, I'm talking about listeners.
Oh, of course.
We have quality listeners instead of quantity. Well, we got plenty of listeners. We got a lot of. We're good. Anyway,
our listeners are the best listeners out there. Shout out to all you guys, all of you.
Absolutely.
We need to do just like a shout out segment one of these days again. Mike.
It's been a while since we've done enough shout outs.
Now I lost my train of thought where I was going. So
yeah, I know that was my fault.
Must not have been that important. So I apologize. I really hate that because I was going somewhere and then now it's like, whoo, it's gone. It is out of there.
I shot that right out of your brain.
It's in talk about breaking that veil. It is in through that. It's in another dimension right now. In another dimension, I'm hosting a podcast where I know what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. And you've got a co-host that's a hell of a lot better than I am.
Shut the hell up, Mike. Shut the hell up, Mike. No, that's not true at all.
Doesn't wear a scally. He's not fat. He's funny.
Well, you're describing. No, I'm not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. Mike, any parting shots here? Any parting words on just what the paranormal means to you? I want to. I have one or two things I need to get out there before the episode is over, but I want to wrap this up right now. With, if we can, let's try and have some pertinent thoughts. There's another word for you. Pertinent thoughts on the paranormal, Mike. And why is it real to you? Simple as that. Why is it real?
Why is it real? Is because I've experienced it.
Simple enough.
Firsthand, right in front of my face.
Yep. And we're talking about, again, if you're new to the show, and if you've lasted this long, God bless you. Thank you so much for sticking with us on this special episode of the Paranormally Zone. Some of your experiences are just outright mind-blowing too, man. That I was there at that house when we experienced some pretty odd things. But you were
And then
there.
why is it to me they were real and to you you're not sure?
Well, because I was going to say, like, but you lived there, obviously, 24
Right.
hours a day, 7 days a week,
I'd go to work in the morning and I'd have how many people ask me, well, what happened last night?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
We woke up and all of our cupboard doors were wide open. Yeah, go figure,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happens here once in a while. Not so much anymore, but
when
we do have every once in a while there's a bang on around my podcast desk. And Mary will look at me, did you hear that? I said, yeah, we have no idea what it is.
Are you serious? Really? That's a new one.
Absolutely serious. Yeah.
What are you looking at right now?
My brother, he's been having things happen off and on.
That's right. He had that weird experience with that picture frame.
Yep. And things like that.
Mike's reading his
day,
phone right now or something. So.
Yeah. The other day he had and I know what he said, but I want to make sure I got it right.
Oh, you're scrolling through your messages with your brother right now. I got it.
Yeah. Because he said that, okay, like they have a new grandson.
Do you want me to like hum the Jeopardy theme right now while you're looking for it, or?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to. No, actually, you know what I'll do, Mike? What I'll do while you're scrolling, I'll just play this over and over. So once, okay.
There you go.
Twice. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the usual things that have been happening there. That's been pretty quiet. You hear things out in his garage and like things I don't know was moving around but nobody out there. But they have a new grandson, beautiful kid, awesome,
brand new. He was on sale. They bought him on the discount aisle.
But as grandparents do, they have toys and things for the kid in their home, and they have a baby swing there that all of a sudden last Monday it turned on by itself.
Okay.
It started going by itself, odd, strange. The switch was off. There wasn't any reason what it should, but it struck them as being very odd and should not have happened.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. And was that like a battery operated thing or electronic?
I'm not sure actually.
But it was switched off, and so
the switch was off, but it went anyway. You hear a lot of things about TVs turning on when they're unplugged, and radios going on playing certain music and they're not plugged in, or that does happen.
That reminded me, Mike. For some reason, I don't know why it popped in my brain, but when we were at the Schramm Cemetery,
yes,
this last October or November,
on the Vergus Trail,
the Vergus Trails, yeah. And we shared this on our Patreon episode a couple of weeks ago. A lot of our audio anomalies that we've captured on our, Mike and I, that we've captured during our investigations. Amateur investigations, yes, but investigations nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
And when you were using the spirit box and you said, can you say Patrick? I want to hear you say Patrick. And that voice, that female voice came through loud and clear.
Yep.
Patrick. And it's like, whoa,
yep.
Whoa. What?
And we were by that lady's grave that we were kind of, had some stuff going on between her and us.
Really interesting.
And that was her.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one of your favorite guys, Mike, I'm really going off on a tangent right now a little bit, but Mr. Joe Nickel, what do you think of when you hear that?
Oh, wow.
Because when I was reading that list earlier, I was going to mention it, but I glossed over it. Like one of his Amazon link for a book that he was selling popped up. And the first two lines of the description of his book, it said, "The world's only professional paranormal investigator, Joe Nickel." He was described as the world's only professional paranormal investigator. What the hell does he mean by that? I mean, my God.
I missed it because you just went into slow mode and almost cut out on me.
I know. I got you. Yep, you went frozen there for a second. So I guess that's a sign to wrap up the episode. But all I said, Mike, was that it's like, what the hell did Joe Nickel mean by that? By saying he's the world's only professional paranormal investigator? I mean, come on, boy, get with it, bub.
He laughing when he wrote that out. You know, if you and I could have 4 people on our show at the same time.
Yeah.
Joe Nickel, the amazing Randy,
Well, that can't happen.
that Ted DeGrosse, whatever his name is, and Bill Nye, the science guy.
You mean Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah.
Neil
All of
deGrasse.
them would just be like a
Yeah, Mike.
Ted DeGrasse Busey or whatever his name is. I don't know.
Yeah, Mike wants to take on a world-renowned physicist. So, yeah,
those 4 are like they all 4 of them piss me off.
I
Yeah,
know.
Bill Nye, the fun guy on TV. No,
But you
he's
can't.
an ass.
You can't talk to the amazing Randy, Mike, because he is no longer with us. So
Well, we can still invite him.
that's true.
You know, and if he shows up, that's good.
So what? You know, if he talked to us right now in the spirit form and he still didn't believe in ghosts, well, then there's no hope for him.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I'd have a few words to say to him about that.
Well, let's wrap this up here, Mike. Another cheap plug here for our next upcoming interview. It's a big week for us this week. It's amazing how this worked out, Mike. We're not only are we appearing on Talk is Jericho, Chris Jericho's awesomely successful, awesomely cool
I
podcast.
cannot wait to see spend some time with him again.
On this Monday afternoon, Mike,
And then Thursday,
we need to nail it. We need to make it good. And then on Thursday, let's say it. Let's finally say it. Our patrons, our Patreon pals have known this for months, but this is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
it is. It will be. It doesn't sound like it until you start to explain,
Well,
but it's still cool.
it's very, very cool. We are going to be talking
I'm very excited about it.
We are talking with paranormal investigator, and we're going to be talking about nothing but the paranormal. Let's make that very, very clear.
Exactly.
Paranormal investigator Stormy Daniels, everybody.
Right.
That is no joke. That is happening. Stormy is very excited. She's been very cool going back and forth and messaging with me, setting this up. It's been just I took a chance, Mike, months ago. And I said, why not? She is totally into the paranormal now. She's been she has her own research team, her own investigative team. And I just took a shot in the dark one night, and you know what? She replied, and it's been in the works for a while. This Thursday, we're talking with Stormy Daniels. Yeah. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It will be. And, it'll be fun talking to a lady that knows things about the Trumpster that nobody else does.
And we're not going to mention a damn thing
we're
about
not going to mention.
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
So it's all paranormal.
But it'll be awesome.
All paranormal and nothing else. So we hope you guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, you found this fairly intriguing. Trust us. This is a pretty cool podcast.
Yeah.
And the Paranormally Zone used to be the Alternate Row podcast. We now have a different structure. We release 2 separate episodes, except this week because this is a special episode. So every week we release 2 episodes every Friday or Saturday. The main topic at hand, and then the last call where we say yay or nay, no shades of gray. Any crazy topic out there, we basically say we're believers or we're not believers. Last week was bat squatch, for God's sake. So give us a shot if this is your first time. We hope you stick around.
And then Wednesdays we do try to put out our
Patreon episodes.
Patreon. We did not last Wednesday because I was in really bad shape last Wednesday, and I could not. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't get out of bed.
Nope.
I had to crawl from my bed to the bathroom, crawl onto the toilet to go to the bathroom. After you get up, you got to go to the bathroom. And then I had to crawl to the couch. And I had to get a little ladder to go from the floor up to the couch to sit. And I could not even move enough to put my feet up and recline the end of the couch. And I had to have Mary wait on me, but she was at work and she wasn't home. So I had to sit there and I had to wallow in my own urine because I couldn't get up again to go to the bathroom.
Okay. I was
Good God, it was horrible.
Took me a while to figure out if you were joking or not there. But then when you said wallowing in your own urine, that finally convinced me that, you're exaggerating a wee bit. It was a bad night for you, though.
It was bad, yeah. It was very, very bad.
Well, Mike, speaking of Patreon, we need to wrap this up so we can go
Yes.
record said Patreon episode. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Longtime listeners, we love you all so very much. We hope you stick around for... as long as we're doing this.
Absolutely.
You mean the world to us. This is a passion of ours. And if you're tuning in for the first time, stick around. Give us a shot. We think you'll love it, and you'll love our Patreon page even more. Mike, let's go do the Patreon. Until next time, what do our awesome paranormal... Jesus Lord! Can you do it a little more subtle? What do our paranormal pals need to do?
Peace out.